friends! Today is the day I want to show you my blush collection. And I figure since I hardly have any highlighters or bronzers or contours, we might as well just kind of do them all together. And I just did a get ready with me, which I didn't do any blush with so that I could maybe try on a couple in this video. The palette I used, in case you care, was this Ace Beauty Falling For You. Because fall is going to be, gone enough that I was thinking, what if I don't use it much? And I didn't hardly use it, so I wanted to more. And I played in colors that I don't normally play in, and I'm not sure I'm loving it. I'm really thinking I'm going to go back in there with this squash and tone it all down. But I'll keep on like this long enough for a video. Do you think I have gray eyes or blue eyes? My driver's license says gray because my husband has blue eyes and my daughter has blue eyes, and they're much bluer than mine. But I don't know if this actually still counts for blue or gray. They're just an ugly color blue if they're blue. Or maybe a pretty color gray if they're gray, and maybe that's why I think that I'd rather say they were gray. I don't know. Why is that important? It's not. It just crossed my mind, and I don't know. I decided to blurt it out. So, I've been seeing people do their blush collection, and I was interested in watching it because blush is one of these things that I used to only have like one or two of, and now I feel like I have so many, and yet I don't have near as many as the people that I've been watching. So maybe I'm okay. No, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Basically in life in general. I probably should get that together. So I do have cream blushes and powder blushes, which by far I normally go with powder. Cream blushes in general seem to me like they look clown bright for the first 5 minutes, and then I can't see them at all on me after that. And it's like I'm not wearing anything at all. But I have several. The only ones that differ from that are my new ones from the Tinkerbell collection that are the shock ones from ColourPop, and those are cream and they go on nice and look good from the start to the finish. Let's just show you some darn blushes, right? Okay. I was thinking maybe I should have put them in order to like rank them. Maybe I'll kind of do that and leave the best ones for last, but since I didn't think about it ahead of time, it's not going to be exactly that. But pretty much my least favorite are these CAD Cosmetic ones. Mostly because I think they barely show up. So we will swatch all three of them. I'll give them a good couple of swatches because I know they don't show up so well. So let's see. We'll start with those closest to my elbow here. Yeah, see? Not much pigment there. Then the two in the Iconic London palette. Put them next to it. Maybe I should have went into those a couple more swirls too, because I can't see those great. Then I keep this with my blushes because I don't really care for the eyeshadow palette that much, but the blushes were kind of pretty. So these two blushes. That one's very light too, isn't it? Then I have one from She Glam, which honestly I was pretty impressed with. I feel like all the blushes that I have left are ones that I like quite a bit. I feel like I should make a little S above this one so we remember where we started with. So that's a She Glam. Look at that. That one. Does that look at all like an S? Not really, but we're going to know it is. I also have this highlighter, basically, palette from She Glam, but the one is enough of a blush. We're going to do it next. And same with in this Glowdient palette, which is really a highlighter palette. When I go into that center one, to me, it looks like a blush. Should I put a G over it so we remember where we're at? Glowdient palette. Yeah. Now this Phase Zero palette, this one probably is more, is that bronzing, contouring? You know, I get the two things confused. I use them similarly. So for now, I'm just going to use the two blushes to show you. Now, strangely enough, this came from the Dollar Tree, but I honestly think it's so pretty. The only thing that bothers me is wondering what kind of, I don't know, products they use, and is it really something that I want sticking on my skin when my skin absorbs all kinds of things? I just pictured having bad chemicals or something, and that they weren't careful with stuff. I have no idea that that's true. Just dollar store makeup sometimes makes me wonder about things like that. But isn't it pretty? Then in the Blink Glow Getter face palette from BoxyCharm several months back, that I finally decided that I'm worth it and I'm gonna open it and use it because I liked the blush colors, even though I probably won't, you know, ever get around to using these. This first one is Crazy Dark. Next is this Mayella palette, again from Ipsy. It's this one that has all these pretty different colors, and I pretty much, you know, will look at it and think, ooh, do I want to do more pinks and lights and stay kind of in this corner, or do I want to reach into the browns and feel it out? But I do slightly wish it wasn't quite as shiny as it is, but I still think it's really pretty. And then I just know, well, I definitely don't have to worry about even possibly wishing that I'd used a highlighter. So I'm not sure how with us finger swatches that this is gonna, but let's just round it all around. It's gonna be a 2 finger swatch. And you kind of can tell that they're different, even though I was blending all around all of them. So I guess you never really know what you're going to get when you use that one. But I still like it. Then the new Nars Orgasm, that's not new to anyone except for me, but that I finally got and tried out, and I do like it. It is shinier than what I thought it would be. But it is light and peachy, and I think it's pretty. Next up, in a little magnetic palette. This one is from Ofra. I think it came in like the one from BoxyCharm that had the green in it. And it's pretty. Did you see where it went? It went right there. This next one is broken and 100 years old, but I still like it. I think it's from Bioelements. And we'll put it here. That hardly showed up too. I'm surprised at that. Yeah, I can see it better in person, like most of the things. And then this one was from Aveda, which, again, it's 100 years old. Where are we going to put it? Here? It's probably about as pink as any that I have on there. And then my favorite powder blush that I have is this one from Too Faced that I really didn't want to like because it was so cute that I wanted to not ruin the embossing on it because it said Too Faced and had two little rabbits kissing. But once I tried it out, I just thought it was so pretty that I wanted to use it all the time. So that is that one. those are all of my blushes. Which I'm thinking, yeah, this is probably the one that I want to use. Now that I feel like I should probably clean myself up before we start swatching the cream blushes, right? Okay, so with cream blushes, I really only have like 7. And most of them I should probably get rid of because I never really use them. For instance, this little guy. Some Bite. I'm honestly not even sure what it is. If it's a blush, a contour, this is the color it looks. So I feel like it has to be more blush, even though it looks kind of brown in there. But, yeah. Then I have this one from Aveda that I thought I was going to love. And it is, you know, a lip, cheek, eye sort of thing. Then this Wonder Beauty one that was Double Date Lip and Cheeks, which one of them is completely clear. So, you know, that I figured has to be the lip. Which means that this one then is cheek, but it's awfully light too. Then this one called Exhibit A, which I believe came from Kinder Beauty Box, and it is so very red. Up closer here. And my camera really is kind of washing things out, so all of this is actually darker in person. Maybe I'll see if I can take a picture and insert it and see if that comes out a little more true to color, but that would be so bright. Then this Grande Pop, which I do like the color of this. I just wish it stayed around longer. Do it up on my bicep, maybe. It was supposed to be like a plumping cheek, which I really didn't see any plumping. But I think that's a good color for me. And then the Tinkerbell ones. They just feel so satin. The first one was Magic Moon, and the next one is Darling. Just love how they feel. So that is all the cream blushes. Now, my highlighters. Starting with this little Laura Geller one, which isn't really a highlighter. I think it's supposed to have been a glowy setting powder. But for somebody who doesn't like highlighters, I think it works. And it's light enough that I can actually show you on me probably. But if I give it a swirl, there, see? That highlights much more than I feel like you would want to use as a setting powder. So plenty enough highlight for me. Or the one that I honestly used the most is called Champagne Ice, and it was from Jane Iredale, and it was a loose. And I've had this forever too, because you hardly need, you know, just anything at all. And I would just do some little tiny tapping. And I had its sister. This one was more golden, and this one was more white. But again, it was loose. We'll put it over here. And yeah, not super highlighty, which is more my speed. However, if I ever do want some in the She Glam, there are, let's see, we'll do, clean off my fingers a little bit better. The white and the champagne. And they are more powdery. And then the bronzy one is a cream. And I think they work really well, and I think they're very pretty for someone who wants to use a highlighter, which just, I don't fall into that category. Probably my favorite that I've got and tried is the Ophir one, and when I use it, I basically do the swirl thing. And I just dipped into the pink, which I also think is pretty. It would be there. And then all of the other ones except for the center shade, because that one, even though it doesn't look it, really comes off more blush-like, I think. But so I'll swatch the two on this side and the two on this side of this Glowdient palette. And the 4 in the Blink palette, which I'm honestly not sure I've even ever swatched. Not near as much as I thought. Awkward angles. And 2 of these in the Iconic London ones are shiny. So these 2. Where will I put them? The only other one I have is a cream that, again, I've had forever. I think I bought this more thinking I would only use it, you know, to like do this kind of thing in the summer on shoulders and such. You know, maybe all of my highlighters, I should just do that sort of thing too. Especially the She Glam ones. I bet that would actually be kind of pretty. Like this creamy one. Yeah, that'd be kind of a nice way to use those up. Because you know how I hate to be wasteful with things. Okay. Now, extremely quickly, because I don't use them, I, you know, don't feel a need to. All of the bronzer contour kind of things. So there's the little bitty one that was in the Phase Zero with the other 2 blushes. I guess I should do. I mean, I could do some contouring, but of this little, again, metallic palette, this one was an Ophir one. These 2 are more like setting powders to me, and they were Jane Iredale, and so is the purple for some brightening. Just gonna swatch the Ophir one for you, because, so yeah, I guess that could be warm and whatever. And then the 2 in the Iconic London palette. That one is much shinier than I realized, actually. So I don't think that would be too great for doing any sort of bronzing or contouring. That'd look funky. So basically these 3, which is maybe why I don't do any. Not even sure. Let's see. try it out on my neck maybe to blend some in. Which one? I guess the Ophir one. There, does that make me prettier? I don't know. Clearly I don't know what I'm doing with it. Okay, so now that we've discovered that, the video ended up being a lot longer than I thought it would be, but I guess I did do a whole lot of swatching, so I don't know. I'm still glad that I took the time to do it and show you, and I hope that you enjoyed seeing it. And if not, I'm sure you fast forwarded to the end, and that's all good too. So thank you for subscribing. And yeah, I think so. When I did my get ready with me, I'm pretty bad at those because I can't talk about other things while I'm getting ready, or I can't tell you what I'm doing. But I did want to kind of try to feel you out on if there's fun things that you have in mind that you'd like to see. That would be exciting for me to try to do something that you would ask for. So yeah, that's all. And I should end it up here.